Today we're going to talk a little bit more about offerings and some of the ways that you can give offerings, linking them to the 4 elements. But before I dive into that subject, hi, I'm Sandra from MysteryWitchSchool.com. If you're new to the channel and you want to know more about Wicca and witchcraft, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos. Now, I do offerings on a daily basis and it's part of my daily practice. And if you're interested in having a really simple daily practice but you don't know where to start or what to do, have a look at the Ultimate Guide to Starting a Wiccan Practice That Works. The link is in the description field below this box. It is a 5-day course that shows you step by step, day by day over 5 days, how to set up a daily practice. And offerings are a part of it. Now, why do we do offerings? It kind of seems silly in this sort of modern scientific world that we live in, that we're giving physical offerings of some sort to invisible beings who really don't need them, essentially. The whole point of offerings comes down to attitude, and having an attitude of giving as well as receiving. When we approach deities, when we're working with local spirits, we're honoring the fact that we don't survive simply on our own. We are reliant on people, we are reliant on animals, plants, many things for our survival. And daily offerings are a way of reminding ourselves of how we are part of a greater whole and how we work with other beings, whether they be physical beings or non-physical beings, in order to be able to maneuver our way through life or navigate our way through life. So it's a reminder that we're not alone. It's a way of working with giving and receiving energy. It reminds us to be humble, to not be selfish. In the magical world, it's so easy to get that sense of give me, give me, give me, give me. I want, I want, I want, I want. I get people emailing me, telling me that what they want. It's all about focusing on oneself. And although magic is about getting things often that we want, the whole thing is to understand that we also have to give in order to receive. And that if we're just taking all of the time, we're probably not going to end up getting what it is that we really want, because we're not circulating that energy. Gratitude is a way of giving out that energy. It's a giving energy. And you'll know that when you do really feel gratitude for something, it feels good too. So it's a feel-good energy. And it's something that the other person, if you're doing it with a person, is also going to experience as being a very pleasant experience. So it helps us become less selfish, more humble, and participate in that exchange of energy. Now, you can do offerings in many different ways, and for this video I divided them up into the 4 elements, and some of them sort of cross over into more than one element. And it's not that you've got to focus on the elements when you're giving an offering, it's just that if you're learning the elements and you're trying to connect with the elements as part of your Wiccan study, then this is just a fun way to be able to incorporate the experience of the elements into your daily life. So let's start with the element of earth. Earth is really simple. If you have a goblet of wine, or your cup has wine, or if you've got food left over from a ritual, you can give that back to the earth. So you can sprinkle it onto the ground, you can pour it onto the ground, making sure that everything that you do is biodegradable and friendly to the earth. And that's the way that you can connect the earth element to your offerings when you're letting your offerings go. So you're basically giving them to the earth and to the earth element. Air is simple too. Incense is a really great offering that works with the element of air. You can use oils, aromatherapy oils. You can also use perfume as a way to give offerings within the element of air. And that's as simple as just rubbing some perfume on the palms of your hands, like this is an essential oil, and then just rubbing it for the heat. And you'll notice that the more you rub it, as it heats up, the scent will become stronger, and you just offer it to whoever you're offering it to. The element of fire, you're going to be working also with incense, because fire is needed. The heat of the fire is necessary, of course, for incense. So incense is fine to work with fire and air at the same time. You can burn herbs. You can throw herbs into a little cauldron of fire if you've got a big enough cauldron to be able to make like a little small fire in. Or if you're outdoors and you're wanting to give offerings, you can throw herbs into a bonfire even as a way of giving your offerings using the element of fire. And water, of course, is your liquids. So it doesn't literally have to be water itself. It can be wine, it can be tea, coffee, milk, anything that's liquid and can be put into a cup, because in Wicca a cup is the symbol of the element of water. And you can leave that on your altar, or you can combine it with earth and pour it into the ground. Some great liquid offerings are wine, which is a very popular one, and tea and coffee are also very, very popular offerings. And that can be cold tea and cold coffee. If you're going to be pouring it into the ground, make sure that it isn't hot, because if there is anything in the ground, you don't want to be damaging it with the heat. So make sure that your tea and coffee is actually at room temperature before you start giving it back to the earth. But if you're going to leave it on your altar for a few hours or 24 hours, then it doesn't matter whether it's hot or whether it's cold. And another way that you can use as an offering is energy. So the chi energy that you can generate, even just rubbing the palms of your hands together to get the energy going, and then building on that energy to make an energy ball and offer that energy ball as your offering. There's so many different ways that you can play with what you can offer, because even giving your own energy as an energy ball is a way of giving something back. It doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to spend a lot of money on certain foods to give offerings. If you can't afford wine, or you don't drink wine, so you don't have it in the house, then don't use wine. Use something else. It's really about connecting the offering, of course, with the deity that you're working with. So different deities tend to have favorite types of offerings that people throughout history gave them. But at the end of the day, if you're stuck, good old sandalwood and frankincense oil on the palms of your hand, rubbed together, maybe adding a little bit of extra energy there, and then just offering that. So when you're offering your offerings, particularly if you're using energy, but you can do this for all of them, is just imagine that it's not just that glass of water or that the holding your hands out with the energy or the scent on them, that you're multiplying these over and over and over again, pretty much an infinite number of times. So in giving your cup of water, in giving your incense, you can just imagine that there's an infinite number of cups with water, and that they are surrounding you as far as you can see. The same with the incense, that you're surrounded, that the entire universe is full of your offering. And that way it's really spreading that energy out there to all four quarters of the universe and reaching that place of infinite gratitude. So it's a symbol of infinite gratitude. It's very powerful way to give offerings, and when you do that, you can really feel the sense of your gratitude just going out everywhere, and of course that will come back to you in a really, really nice way as well. So they're your offerings. Let me know in the comments field your favorite way of doing offerings, if you do offerings, and if you don't do offerings, when you're going to start doing your offerings. If you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, don't forget to subscribe. I'm Sandra from mysterywitchschool.com. Blessed be.